Welcome to this brief introduction to the dynamic prospectus that is now available to anyone free of charge on gamsstandards.com. That's GAM standards, all one word, .com, the website for Global Asset Management Standards, or GAMS for short. If you'd like to find out more about the library of free resources, go to gamsstandards.com, and there you can also sign up to receive the free alerts as new resources are added. There's no noise, just news. If you have any feedback or would like to join us in our quest to reduce costs, reduce risk, and increase efficiency, please use the feedback form again on the website, gamsstandards.com. My name is David Ryder. I'm one of the directors of GAMS, and I'm joined by three key members of the working group that has prepared this new dynamic prospectus to share with you. They are Christine Vriesen, Head of Market Services for Schroders in Luxembourg, Scott Parkin, Head of Zeidler Group's US Legal Services Division, and Josiah Fisk, President of More Carrot, the international agency that creates simplified communications and content systems. Josiah, I'm going to turn to you as the original architect of the dynamic prospectus. Can you tell me what the logic is behind it?
Well, it's basically, we wanted to look at the prospectus and see if we could make it more business friendly, more usable. And in order to do that, we took the content that exists in general and has been refined over the years in Luxembourg by many law firms and by many asset managers. And we took that content and essentially took a fresh look at it from a design standpoint, a structure standpoint, a language standpoint, and we completely rebuilt it in a way so that all of the substance is there, but the model for this that we have embedded in this template is lets you have a prospectus that's anywhere from 60% as long to maybe only 30% as long as what you have, still does all of the work of the prospectus. There's a lot of standard language in it that you can pick up verbatim if you like. That's the standardized part of the template. But also standard is instructions for how to fill out the parts of the prospectus that are not just copy paste. And so essentially a little bit about the whole concept of the template, and then there's a guide that goes with it that tells you all about this. So we're looking to try to have business efficiencies. We're looking to try to have cost savings. We're looking to try to have ideally faster time to market, because what I can tell you about this template is it's based on a template that we've done at More Carrot and we've been using in Luxembourg for at least 12 years now. And that in turn was based on work that I did in the States here before that. So a lot of experience has been distilled into this. So this is not, even though the template is new, what is behind it is not new. It is something that's been used by many top firms. It's been seen by literally hundreds of professionals, legal professionals, product people, everybody, distribution people, and of course regulators. And it's also very importantly been seen by a lot of boards, many of which are very much in favor of this kind of work.
Fantastic, thank you. Christian, if I can turn to you as the chair of the working group that brought this live to GAMS, can you talk more about what it is you've produced?
Yeah, so as indicated by Josiah, we've taken the prospectus from More Carrot as a starting point, but we actually did a review with a group of industry experts that volunteered their own time to work on a usage prospectus template. So the template is really focusing on plain language, which is easy to read for users, both users in other firms that use the prospectus, as well as investors. So the narrative of the prospectus is geared towards also reuse. So we looked at what narrative can be used, for instance, in marketing material or in PRIPS. So the idea here is that we try to create a level of consistency between documents, which is creating efficiencies, reducing risks of having misaligned messaging, and brings also financial benefits and potentially even faster time to market. Now, the prospectus template is considered that we've created as a best practice. So it can be used in its entirety. It can be used in small parts. So the way that we thought of this is a full prospectus that is existing can be redrafted into this narrative, but also bits can be taken to complement an existing prospectus. And it is obviously a very good starting point for a new fund that is being set up. Now, if you go on to the website of gamsstandards.com, you will find two templates of the prospectus. One is the Word version template, which is very easy to use if you want to copy paste certain sections. And there is a PDF document. And the PDF gives you a very good idea what a prospectus could look like. It is not only looking at the narrative, but also the look and feel. The content is the same, but you will see that the look and feel is very different. In addition to the prospectus templates, we've created a user guide. So the user guide describes the structure of the prospectus template that we have created, but it also describes a sub-fund module. If you want to draft it, what does it look like? What could be standard narrative? What are considerations that need to be given to drafting such a sub-fund module? So if you get started, have a look at both the template, but especially also at the user guide.
Okay. Scott, turning to you, I have a double question for you. If you could add more to how it works, but also if you could expand on who it benefits and how.
Certainly. Thank you, David. So I think to start, if you go back to the inception of UCITS in 1985 and then the updates in 01 after UCITS 2 failed, what you see is the prospectus became a additive aggregating document. It became a document where people and firms just put in more information solely for risk mitigation. That's what it ended up being. The problem with that is the document was no longer serving its real purpose, which was investor information. The key behind this is the document is now in a modular format, which is key. The modular format allows information to be provided by the investment manager and or manco and the funds in a way for investors to digest it. That is the key. It's meant to be a vehicle for information, both for risk mitigation for the manager and the fund and the manco, but also providing enough information for investors to make a proper investment decision. That's why this was so needed, because the behemoth, these elephants of documents that were hundreds of pages of long, you really couldn't process them and you couldn't use them. So the idea is it's not just to be a market document. It's meant to do everything that a fund needs to process and provide information downstream to all the requisite users. And then that dovetails into your next question, who does it benefit? The prospectus, up until this new modernized form, this new template form, really benefited the mancos and the investment managers. It was risk mitigation. It had all the disclosures, all the information needed to protect the firms from potential litigation, saying, hey, we provided you enough information to make an investment decision. However, that wasn't usable by the people that actually use it, the distributors, the retail investors, the end investors, the service providers, such as the custodians and the depositaries and the admins. All of those providers can now go into this template and pull out the salient information in a digestible and extractable way. And that's key. The extractability, the portability of the information is where the genius of this template that arose with Josiah and More Carrot that we've now worked on, that's the important piece there. It's all extractable and can really be digested by whoever needs to digest it without taking in just a lot of content and words.
Fantastic, thank you. Christian, if people have feedback or suggestions, can they come back to you and the working group?
Yes, David, of course, people can come back to us. So the template was created by a group of experts volunteering their time. The objective is to create an open source document that is freely available to anyone. So any feedback that people would have is very much welcome, because it adds to the value of the document. It improves, it sets higher standards and increases the quality, and therefore brings more benefit to the community. So answering the question, yes, people can go to gamsstandards.com and leave any questions or comments onto the website, and those will be considered for any future updates.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for your time, gentlemen. Once again, if you would like more information about the entirely free library of checklists, best practice guides, and other resources, please visit gamsstandards.com.